Right, in some of the places that we can figure out certain items, like our end goal, for example, normally as soon as you would beat Aghanim 1, you get to appear on top of the Dark Pyramid, and on top of Pyramid is a little box where we can figure out what's going on.
And we are off. Our 2 opening chests are nothing spectacular. Looks like you've just got an open world. We'd know right away if it was retro, standard, or inverted. So we're just open.
Right, but was that some key sanity text that I ended up seeing on the bottom when GFE pressed his menu button? I believe that we may have key sanity here.
We might. I'll have to. I didn't catch it. It was pretty quick, but we'll have to see. Ooh, nice tier 1 tree pole. 80 rupees. Very good. See both these guys, of course, getting that tier 1. They know what they're doing.
Other there are bugs today only giving us hearts, which, could come in handy later. But Pyramid Ledge only giving us a bundle of sticks.
So we have at least maps and compasses shuffled. We'll have to see if we've got keys as well. I saw a 10 arrow pack on Lumberjack, so that's completely irrelevant. And Uncle himself had not much going on. Ooh, that's damage shuffles. You saw there, those birds, I think they deal like half a heart, maybe 1 on green mail. GFA got killed from 3 hearts to nothing by that bird.
Right. It actually deals 1 heart of damage on green mail.
Yes, I see, because damage shuffle tends to make enemies harder in general. Some of them will get easier. Some enemies will inherit the thieves damage, where they just bump into you and nothing happens. There's a lot of potential for really deadly enemies that are not a problem in normal game.
Now we have a new murder bird.
It is actually very much a murder bird in Light World, yes.
At least starting murder bird.
So there are 2 types of damage shuffle, and this is not the really mean one that makes your armor irrelevant. So when you get armor, it'll still reduce the damage you take, and in some cases it can reduce it to where you actually take nothing, because the damage values are a little bit different. Oh, there's a small key.
Yep. So we do have the key sanity with map compass shuffle. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it has yet to be seen whether we have big keys, because I didn't see the menu, but I think we'll get a look soon enough. So in key sanity, of course, if maps are shuffled, then you won't know what the dungeon prizes are by checking your map until you actually have the map. So if they say they find the eastern map, then they can look at their world map and actually see what the dungeon prize is. For compasses, the compasses inside dungeons will then add a new counter at the top of your HUD that tells you how many checks you've made in the dungeon.
At least we don't have an entrance shuffle on top of it, so we don't have any kind of cross key scenario going on.
Yeah, the friendly mystery set does give you does not have entrance shuffle as an option, so it's a little more approachable to people who are not as familiar with all the various ways to play the game.
All right, so the green guards are only taking a half a heart of damage on green mail, so it's gonna be slightly annoying. But hey, we got Moon Pearl already with Back of the Inn.
It's our first big item. Yeah, back at Tavern is our Moon Pearl. GP is going to opt to buy bombs. Not a bad choice. Just haven't seen really much for bomb packs so far.
Let's see what the good old Chicken Hut is having for us today.
Another map. We've got a bunch of maps so far. I think like 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. So this would be maybe not too bad of a seed in terms of determining which dungeons are your relevant prizes. And that's even assuming that they're not sure which dungeon they're supposed to go for. It's probably a Ganon kill. They probably need crystals, but there's a good chance that they may want to just collect pendants for a pedestal goal. The maps keep coming, jeez.
I mean, hey, that's great for us. That's more intel we can gather, especially with going over to the Dark World at this point.
Yeah, the more we know about the dungeon prizes, the more we can figure out exactly what these runners have to do.
And we got hook shot, which is going to be nice. So if we ever get the option to go over to Death Mountain, we instantly have access to the right side.
And 2 Meyer Smalls. That's interesting to find those right next to each other. Yeah, it looks like we don't have the big key row there, so we're on what we call an MCS. So the big keys in dungeons will still be within just their own dungeon shuffle pools. Got our Hera Small, that's good for the one check in the basement. Which an MCS could still be the big key.
Yep, and we're having plenty of rupees, so possibly, we could even have an early, as I like to call him, King Scammer check.
Oh yeah, we're not too far off away from our 500 target for Zora money. Especially since Koi, I think, Koi has about 100 more. I wonder if he found something, or if GFE hasn't checked Bottle Vendor yet, I'm not sure. Or
No.
Koi hasn't checked Bottle Vendor, maybe.
I believe Koi may have checked Bottle Vendor, but I also know that Koi did pull the tree right near Uncle, as well as the tree near Lumberjack.
Okay, he had some extra pulls. Okay, yeah. Big 20 on Library Ledge. Don't care about that. Yeah, when you've got an 80 rupee tier 1 pull, it's very easy to farm that for additional money in your early game. An early hook shot, pretty nice. Honestly, it's my favorite item in the game. I love seeing it earlier the better. You'll get to see some tricks with it right away, especially when they go into the dam. You'll see them be able to clip through the block of the chest. Lots of good tech with the hook shot. Koi just checks it. Instead of running it, GFE will take his 20 rupees, because you're pretty close to Zora money. May as well just try to get 500.
And Koi gonna go down to do south and take care of our South Shore checks. I'm actually kind of interested to see what we see in the mini Moldorm cave, because of course, with hookshot, hopefully we're able to take down the Moldorms. And I say hopefully because it is friendly settings, so we should not have any usability difference in our items, but it is possible.
Correct. There's no functionality possible. So as the functionality is normal, we do have a 20% chance of hard item pool. So they might find themselves not being able to find armor, up to 3 swords, 14 hearts, but we'll see as the seed goes on whether that looks like is the case. We do have a glove in the dam, so that's another nice item to find early on. One step of our Dark World access. Koi's going to walk over to Desert, looks like.
Yeah, possibly check out Agina's cave and then check Ledge maybe while he's over there. GFE, however, opting to go towards the item density, which is going to be our mini Moldorm cave, and then possibly over to our Ice Rock cave.
A little bit of divergence is never a bad thing to see when you're calling a race. Gives you more stuff to look at, more things to think about.
Right, and let's be honest here, sometimes with runners, I mean, I know we've experienced this ourselves, you can go ahead and make a call to forget Agina's cave, totally forget about it for most of the race, and then realize you have to go back to it because it has an important item. So might as well just get it done with. Koi probably going to go check the back of Escape.
Yep, we found, back of Escape for him. We found two more small keys in Mini Moldorm. We had our Desert Small, which is an important single small key because that unlocks 2 checks in Desert. It's worth noting, actually, that Koi on his Agna check did find a green 20. Now, those you don't normally see unless you're dealing with something that changes items in the pool. So since you have a green 20, that means we're actually on hard item pool.
And by the way, we also do see Mushroom as well as our first bottle in the back of Escape. GFE gonna play it safe for the crabs. Normally the crabs do 2 damage with green mail, but with the damage being shuffled, we really aren't going to be sure about how much damage they actually do to us.
Yeah, still being on 3 hearts, it's very very dicey as far as you don't know how much damage anything is going to deal to you. You saw like earlier with the bird, you could get one shot in the light world, so you got to be really careful with every enemy. Those crabs move fast; they are dangerous.
Koi,
Got on the
however, with
Palace
the
of Darkness
mushroom.
key in the Ice Rod Cave.
Yep, and Koi, by the way, doing fake flippers to do a quick little entrance over, turning our first fetch quest, which is going to be the mushroom, to see what we get. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get anything good if he just does a reset, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he might scum this and use it later to make sure he can fake powder if he has to. Ooh, that's definitely an item you keep. Cane of Samaria on our mushroom check. Very good to grab that early.
Oh, that's going to help us with our icebreaker and diver down. Mind you, diver down you can do with either bomb or cane, but just ways for us to kind of skip some of the dungeon logic that normally it would want us to do.
And GFE is going to do our southeast fake flipper here. Jump in the water, screen transition, and we're swimming without the flippers. Just don't get hit and you're okay. Going to check Hobo for us, and then we'll probably see a trip up to Zora area as well. Got the money for it.
Both of our runners have the money, so I wouldn't be surprised if they both decide just to loop everything in together. Now, fun part on what we're going to see GFE do with this fake flipper. You do have to be careful when you're coming off of Hobo for your fake flipper, because if you transition while Link is still in the air and hasn't touched the water, you will soft lock.
Yep, you'll get into a state called an infinite scroll. Even though it's not infinite, your screen will scroll in a weird way, and you'll basically be stuck for a while, and then you'll spawn like off screen somewhere, and you can't do anything. It's an utter soft lock, yeah. Waste a lot of time, and you save and quit. It's just not something very advisable. Yeah, if you can line yourself up 1 pixel below that pillar and then jump off the ledge, you should be fine with the fake flipper from Hobo. And because we have the Moon Pearl here, we can of course check the 2 chests in Waterfall out of logic. Blue boomerang and another blue item. Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised too, once Koi gets himself over there, if he takes that green potion that he has on him to check to see what the fairy is going to give him.
Ooh, half magic on Zora Ledge. Ooh, that's an interesting spot for that.
An early half magic would be really, really nice. So we may actually see if Koi can do it with his bombs and cane, if we can actually see a splash deletion.
I believe Bombs and Cane is a legitimate setup. I'm not familiar personally with how it works, but I think it's possible.
It's one of those tricks that I've done in the past, but it's kind of hard to do. But it looks like, our King of Scammers actually gave us a 500 rupee book.
Yeah, coughed up a soggy tome for us.
I guess he was giving us one of those books to go back to school, huh?
Teaching us that's a different kind of life lesson, but yeah. Saha's Closet has just some random junk for us, nothing important.
But, our runners do have now this, by the way, Thieves Town being our green pendant, it looked like. Our runners do have the Desert Palace key. So GFE immediately going over to Desert Palace, I think would be a good call. We already have that small key. We can access most things. We just don't have really a fire source to go into the back, or really any way to do with the Lambos currently.
Yeah, GFE has got that. Yeah, you got the books. You can get a desert. You've got 3 checks available with that small key. Lacking boots and fire rod for the rest of it, or a fire source in general. Meanwhile, Koi is making our first trip in Eastern, and GFE gets their bad news that we are in a hard item pool.
Koi, however, getting the hammer out of Eastern and then decides to peace out.
That's a pretty good item to find. I I don't blame him for bailing out her one item if you got the hammer. That's Dark World access right there.
Right, not only is that Dark World access, we can also go up to Pyramid and check what we actually have to do now.
Yeah, the earlier you can get to your goal in a mystery race, the better, because then you have a much better idea of what you're actually going for.
And it looks like we have a pendant over at Skullwood, our 5-6 at Misery Mire, and just another pendant on Swamp.
Alright, so we got some good dungeon knowledge coming in here. We just need to see what our actual goal is and know which dungeons are important.
Boy,
See if hype-
checking our hype cave.
There's our castle key. Largely irrelevant in not entrance, because you can still walk through that from the front with no problem.
Right, but he did get Ether Tablet. And at least with Ether, that could be one of the ways that we open up either Turtle Rock or Misery Mire in case we have to dive into them. Looks like Desert Palace is actually just giving us a lot of love.
Yeah, I mean, with how the hearts are right now, I'm sure they're not complaining that much. Ideally, you'd like something a little more progression-oriented. Koi's going to get our goal news here. Read that sign. It's going to tell us 6 crystals, slow Ganon, because the hole is not open. So we don't know what our tower entry is, but we do know that we have to get 6 crystals for Ganon to be vulnerable, and we do have to clear GT.
And we have
Pyramid.
That is nice, you know, just to have. I mean, mind you, these runners could obviously go through any of the dark rooms completely blind and be okay, but just having that lamp is an extra sigh of relief.
Yeah, it's nice to just know that you don't have to worry about it, because even as experienced as you are, you might, something goes a little off in a dark room, one of the enemies gets in a weird position, you're not sure where you are, don't have to worry about it now.
Especially the mini Helmasaur room.
Oh yeah, mini Helmasaurs they're terrible. GFE picks up a full heart off Desert Ledge. Not bad there. So again, with hard pool, what we are looking at here is 14 hearts will be our maximum. Any hearts past that will be turned into green 20s. We will not find any armor. They'll be restricted to green mail. They won't find more than 3 swords and 1 bow. And also 2 shields, I think, is the cap on hard.
GFE is now going to collect their both actually of their mushroom, which will lead him into the Cane of Samaria, as well as his first potion. And Koi looking to go to maybe front of escape.
Front of escape, yeah, that's reasonable. Got 4 checks to make with Dark Cross included.
Yep, and we don't have to worry about any of the dark rooms. On top of that, we have Hammer, so we can deal out some damage. Easy clear.
Or is he making an Aghanim play?
Ooh.
This is interesting, actually. I wonder why he... Oh, no. Oh, wait, he's just checking the first chest. Okay. Yeah, we do not have the castle tower keys just yet.
Right.
We have 1 key. I'm not sure exactly where we found that. So both the chest and Aghanim's tower are accessible, which, because we have small keys shuffled, those are now items within the pool.
Boy, however, death.
Actually, a Tesla Coil in chat is making a very good point. That's our swordless check, because Koi was able to hit the barrier with the hammer, and it broke. We are not going to find any swords in this scene. So actually, I must apologize. We might not be in hard pool. We may just have had 2 of those green 20s been swords. Now, if it's swordless, that does make some interesting changes to the game. You'll see the medallions can only be activated by the little floor symbols where they're required to be used to open dungeons or whatnot. The curtains for Aghanim and Skull Woods are automatically open, and Ganon is damageable with the hammer, and the silvers are hard required. So even if it is hard pull, like we got unlucky, we got hard pull and swordless, well, there are definitely 2 bows in the item pool, like 100%, because logic does not expect anyone to do swordless, silverless Ganon, because that timing window is super tight.
Right. You're talking about a fraction of a second. Pixel perfect, and on top of that, Ganon is kind of phasing out as well, so the time it's super difficult.
Yeah, nobody's expected to make 24 3-frame window hits with the hammer. It's extremely difficult. There are some people who can do it, but nobody's expected to do that. Yeah, commonly you'll see in Swordless Seeds, if you get down to where Ganon's available and you don't have the silvers, you drop in, get the hint, and then bail out and go find those arrows. Both our runners in the same place here. GFE just a little bit behind Koi, showing off that the Cane of Samaria can still be an effective weapon. Ooh, Koi took some extra damage off that ball and chain guard. That's going to be a kicked out of the castle.
Koi maybe forgot the fact that even when he was up top, the ball and chains are doing 3 damage.
Yep, there's that reminder that damage shuffle is indeed still enabled. And we haven't found the armor yet. We're still waiting on whether we have hard pull. It might not be that bad, but we'll have to wait and see. GFE is going to take the safe route and just throw 2 pots at him. Doesn't look like our enemy health has been changed, so it still should just be 2 pots to kill here.
Right, but don't forget the green guards are only doing half a heart worth of damage no matter what. So it's going to take GFE a little bit in order to die.
Looks like it's a between half. It looks like it's about 3/4 heart, so there's a little roll over there, but yeah, it's a bit of a long death warp.
Koi saying to our little guard over there, I'm not falling for you twice.
Well, they're rewarded with just a map in Zelda's cell chest, so nothing special there. Granted, maps are still useful, but you're still hoping for more stuff. Like maybe some armor, boots would be nice, a mirror to get around easier, maybe a bow.
GFE, however, being very cautious underground, and it looks like, wait, did the snake deal 3 damage as well?
Looks like it. That snake room is dangerous in damage shuffle. Being extremely cautious, spamming the hook shot, hoping to catch anything that might get in his way. And just Thieves Town Compass for our troubles, which these runners, they know how many checks are in dungeons. Compasses are, if they see them somewhere, they'll ignore them completely.
So how long do you think it is before GFE is going to go into Eastern? And on top of that, are we going to go through all of Eastern, maybe?
Looks like he might be heading over there now. Yeah, looks like we're making a play at Eastern. I would like to see more of Eastern, but I would not blame GFE if he bails out after 1 item, because that hammer does enable a lot.
Right. I mean, that's going to be the Dark World access as we saw beforehand. Where hopefully, we see from GFE just go, you know what? I need to check Dark World anyways. Let's go check that. I can always come back over here. And it's not like I really, took a lot of time out. Boy, however, is going to go help the old man and go for our Death Mountain checks. We already have a fire source too, so if we need to go to the basement, we already have access to it. And if Moldorm is in fact, because we do have some shuffle, so we do have a boss shuffle. If Moldorm is in his little area, we can kill him.
Yep, we do have a hammer, which is able to actually hit Moldorm. Hammer and swords are pretty much what you need for him. And even though we don't have... Oh, we do have the Hera small key, so the big key is somewhere in that dungeon, completely accessible, but I'd expect we'll see some Hera pots from our runners here.
Oh, yeah. At that point, you might as well, unless you have big key all the way down the bottom, but even still, that's just one check,
GFE's got their hammer. Looks like he's gonna keep going into Eastern. I like this. I like looking around, because you've got five potential item checks in here, or checks that could be good items in Eastern here. So it's more value than usual.
Right, and we could have our bow in here, for all we know. Which, let's be realistic here, having a bow in here would be really, really, really nice.
It really would. Discovering that you can complete a dungeon while you're inside the dungeon it's always a good feeling.
Paradox Cave, by the way, lower, only giving us a map and a heart container.
It does put Koi on 5 hearts. I'm sure he's not arguing too much.
Oh no, especially with any murder birds or whatever. But we did get Uncle Bombs, so we got our 10 bombs. We got a key to the Thieves Town, and we got another bottle. So
yep, that was another green potion.
Yep,
for us. Yep. He still hasn't hit the pyramid, of course. They're doing the Eastern in the dark, but not that trouble. It's one of the easiest dark rooms.
Floating island only giving us a bundle of sticks, so we'll never need to go over there.
Yeah, just to confirm, Professor Render asking about the small keys. Yeah, we do indeed have an MCS shuffle on our hands here. The book was on Zora.
And for all of our efforts, we get a bug net.
I mean, we do have normal functionality. We know that bug net works. If we come down to where it's a hard pull, that catching fairies may be a little more appealing than usual.
Boy, taking the time to go down bottom. Huh.
I guess he's thinking we're just gonna get all the items, go ahead and be thorough with Hera. And that's a reasonable way to make.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit to get this one, but it's, you know for sure that you're not leaving anything behind.
Right, and instead now he's doing a nice little coffee break.
He's doing it to hang out and have a break from it. Maybe he wants to get. Maybe he's actually getting some coffee. Who knows? One streamer in particular I watch actually does like to pour themselves another cup of coffee every time they do this. GFE getting their sort of lackluster hype cave. It's got an ether medallion. Maybe that's useful later. We'll see.
Boy, just gonna death warp all the way to the beginning, which is nice, especially when you don't have mirror.
Yeah, our mirror's been elusive so far. We did get just a bomb pack in the basement here. That wasn't much worth it. He's just gonna death warp out, and we'll see him go ahead and climb. It's opting not to Herapot, which is interesting. I wonder if he's not feeling as comfortable with it today.
I think it could be a combination between that and, not knowing exactly what damage he could take, whether or not any other damage that he is going to take could be an additional 3, which would definitely hurt him.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I forget that sometimes even the damage shovel can mess with certain things like that. More bombs in the small chest here. We'll see what's in big. And GFE's got their news. Ooh, got bopped by the spark. GFE's got their news that we have a 6 crystal slow again on our hands.
Luckily enough, though, the spark only dealt, looks like, half. So... not that bad, not that bad.
It looks like we've seen all our pendants, too, actually. Yeah, we've got pendants on Skull, Thieves, and Swamp, I think it was.
Was Swamp Palace a,
I think I saw Swamp pendant on GFE's, yeah, it looks like we've got Swamp pendant on the Swamp Palace on the tracker, yeah. Granted, I think with this tracker, if the prize has not been determined, it will just look like a crystal, but if it hasn't been changed. So the default is a crystal. That doesn't necessarily mean we have crystals on those dungeons.
ooh, and it looks like we do have our boss shuffle, but
Boss
we have an
shuffle
easy...
it is.
We have an easy boss this one.
So Mothula in any other room is a real piece of cake boss. GFE has found Bombos in the first chest of Palace of Darkness. This is an interesting play because they've only got 1 key, so you can't really get much out of Pod yet.
But Mothula does give us key to Turtle Rock. And actually, GFE does have a green potion, so he could do the potion glitch to get over on the right side. But even still, this is an interesting play.
Yeah, this is definitely, yeah, they got that green potion, they can do this. That'll get them 2 more checks on the right side, and then they've got the hammer, so they can keep going through here. And basically you're hoping that that the second bow is in Palace of Darkness at this point. Koi is heading down the spiral cave. We're going to get our item here in a moment. There's the boots, right after the walk of shame, no less.
And we have the need for speed. GFB getting our first invulnerability item, our blue Pain of Burna.
Not bad to see, especially since we know, again, no functionality changes, so we know it works just fine. Koi's going to immediately go make use of those boots. Check out our bonk rocks here. Wow, right to a flute. No kidding. Both of our big movement items back to back.
So now that's just going to make traversing this entire map so much easier. The only way that this could realistically get any easier is if the game decides to give him a mirror.
Yeah, Koi just scored hard with getting those boots right into the flute. Big improvement on getting around the world. Alright, GFE using his one key to get back to the back of Palace of Darkness, where we do have a few more checks available, especially if he pulls off the hammer jump here. Might see that in a minute.
The goose is now loose on Koi's side. And let's go see what the sick kid has for us today.
Just another full heart.
Show him a bottle, give us a heart.
GP is going to go ahead and line us up for a hammer jump, using a hammer to clip, or using a bomb jump to clip very precisely through the rail around the big chest. Skip's needing to open the dark maze with a key. We're very relevant in key sanity.
Right, because now we don't have to worry about that small key. If we find another one, that just allows us to go down our little hallway and go back to Helmasaur in case we need it. But hey, we got our big key, so now we can go check that chest.
Yep, big key in the dark maze, as it likes to do. Ah, another green 20. We've seen enough of those by now that I'm pretty convinced we're on hard pool swordless at this point.
Oh yeah.
Koi finds another Turtle Rock small key in the brewery. I think we're up to 3 of those by now. Or at least 3 that we've seen. Maybe I might have one more counted. I'm not sure. No, don't count me 100% accurate on that. Castle Tower key. There, we got one of those.
You know what though? With this entire run, we can at least do Thieves Town and get through it. And Koi making that decision, because we already have the one small key to go to the back room in case we need to. The rest of the small keys that we actually need already in the map, guaranteed.
Yep, Thieves Town just has one small key, and the big key, of course, is in the dungeon. Already found it in the first chest, so we can full clear this dungeon no problem, since we do indeed have the hammer. Well, we're on swordless, so we better well have the hammer. Koi's being understandably scared of, or cautious with the blue Zaza, because you don't know how much damage it's going to deal. You're not sure where it is when it's under the overhang.
Right, because we could have some early Lionel damage, which, oof. Big oof.
Yep, they're stuck on green mail, so there's a lot of enemies that can do a lot of damage. There's our other Aghanim's key. So now, with both those Castle Tower keys, I doubt we need to kill Aghanim for anything. Again, Lumberjack was a 10-arrow bundle, but you can at least get to the item in the Dark Maze with one key.
Right, and we have already access to Dark World, so...
And we know that it's not all dungeons for our goal, so we shouldn't have to worry about Aghanim being beaten at any point in this seed.
If anything, they may just go into Castle in order to see if there's an item, but not beat Aghawan at this point. Aghawan is pretty squashed.
Oh yeah, we won't be paying him any visits today. GFE's looking to do pulling up bushes when they I guess you're looking for a fairy to catch. Yeah, it's fair. We're gonna see a look into Spike Cave here. Let's say hello to our raiders from Atito's stream. Welcome. We've got a Link to the Past Randomizer Mystery Daily Race going on here on Speed Gaming 3. Our current settings we've got right now, we're looking at Hard Pool, Swordless, bosses are shuffled, we've got Damage Shuffle in play, and we are on an MCS Shuffle. Lots of
Unfortunately-
mixing in this one.
Unfortunately, though, Spike Cave really not giving us anything.
Yeah, we're still missing a fair amount of equipment here. We haven't seen either rod, no bows yet, no flippers. We're not going to see any swords, of course. We've got one more medallion hanging out, and that mirror is still somewhere. When we know we need it because we do have a Swamp Palace crystal. Well, we could need it. Depends on which dungeons are accessible, because we need 6 of those crystals, and we don't know also what our tower open is. The tower could require 7, which means it's basically a 7/7.
The slimes deal 4 damage.
That's some rough damage shuffle, jeez.
On green mail, dealing 4 damage. Ouch. Talk about being the ultimate slime.
No kidding. Is that that's a vanilla mint? Come on, game.
That
Stop
is.
that right now.
We have a vanilla miss.
I was just playing a solo casual seed before this, and I also had a vanilla mint. I was like, what is this game lately? I've seen that so many times.
Oh, you love to see it and hate to see it at the exact same time.
It's great. Oh, there's our Armos Knights and Blind in the back of Thieves Town. Yeah, you hate to see it when you're playing it because you're just like, why is this here again? But from a spectator point, it's absolutely fantastic.
I believe
Koi getting immediately bullied by the Armos, though.
I believe that they just dealt 4 damage as well.
And Koi is just taking off and like, nope, I don't want it. I'm not going to deal with it. Gonna go do literally anything else.
Don't have bow. Don't have any of this stuff. And actually, yeah, speaking of which, since we don't have any swords, we're doing swordless. Man, these hammer pigs are taking forever.
Hey, remember, sword is what enables you even dash through those pegs, the item dash, so you have to do them the slow way.
But our ether tablet, by the way, containing our powder.
Fantastic item, especially when you're dealing with any sort of reduced equipment. Being able to make fairies will be a big benefit. Yeah, we're getting some comments in chat. Sounds like some of our runners some of the participants in this race have bailed out the moment they. Oh, we have hints on. Koi never checked a hint tile. There is a slight chance of that. GFE confirms that our hint tiles are active. Yeah, I don't blame several people for bailing on this one when they discover swordless. It's definitely one of the hardest things to do in the game.
Right, because, you know, it's one of those things where you have to hope that you come across everything, and then to know some of the finite details of the game. It's not even partly that. It's also part of, and the way that I kind of like to put it is, you can be on the border of frustration. You know, you have to get all the bosses with the boss shuffle, have all the items, be running back and forth, and it's just not a fun time.
Yeah, there's just it adds some complexity. It has a good mix of complexity and difficulty to the game, really. So it's there's a stumpy heart for us. We find a good number of heart containers. Koi's catching up in total health here. GFE's got his bomb pack from the Hera basement. Gonna take a death warp and climb the tower.
Koi is going to go check over by Misery Mire, so we'll be able to see what kind of pennant we have. And we'll hopefully get to avoid to see how much the Deathbird hurts us. But we have an Ether!
Mire.
So we have a vanilla opening for Misery Mire. And an Ice Rod.
Okay, well, I don't know if we've seen Turtle Rock's prize yet, so I'm not sure if we need that. But actually, Boss Shuffle, that Trinex could be anywhere. So that's one of those items, the good insurance item to find in boss shuffle. Just need to have a fire rod, and then we know we can take care of any Trinexes we run into.
And GFE getting that last key. So now, if he decides to go through, well, rather, as soon as GFE gets Bo, we'll be able to clear out up to the boss, at least, of Pod. Without swords, though, Wizrobes.
Yeah, those Wizards are dangerous. They deal a lot of damage. At least they can deal a lot of damage. It's entirely possible in damage shuffle that what they deal is just outright reduced. Whereas these popos that wiggle around randomly, they can deal a whole lot more. GFE taking down Mothula with the hammer, no problem. It does tempered sword damage. It's very good. It's just really short. It doesn't last. It doesn't stay out for very long.
Right, and just having the fact that once again Mothula is not, is in Hera, or rather, as you put it, any other room besides its own makes Mothula so much easier.
Exactly. Conversely, if you put any other boss in Mothula's room, it tends to make it harder. There's some bosses don't though. Like you put Moldorm in Mothula's room, that poor guy doesn't know what to do. He just gets stuck in the corner.
Yep. Because the room is actually moving, and Moldorm is trying to move at the exact same time, which causes Moldorm to go really slow and makes him super easy to hit.
I almost feel bad for Moldorm in Monster Room. Like I don't want to kill him. He's just trying to move.
Oh, I don't, because with boss shuffle too, by the way, Moldorm's eyes count is actually different.
Yeah, sometimes you get the really gross one, like the single-eyed Moldorm. Oh, it looks so weird.
Or the 8-eyed Moldorm.
Just eyes everywhere. GFE's got their boots out of Spiral Cave, and they are now in a zoom. Looks like he might also be making the play right to Bonk Rocks, which is a fantastic idea, as you will soon discover.
And Koi, by the way, getting the big key for Misery Mire already.
Still going for thorough checks here. Some runners might skip the cutscene chest and leave it for later, if at all. He's just going to go ahead and do it right away. And I think that's a reasonable play in Key Sanity. You've got a bunch more items you need to find. Several more keys you're going to need. You know you need 6 crystal dungeons, so most of those keys are going to be relevant. Ooh, took a little bit too long on the torches here. Hopefully you can recover. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah. It doesn't look like at least hugging the Wizard doesn't deal too much damage to us on Green Mail. Thankfully. But hey, we'll get to see our powder and what that gives us.
Yeah, Magic Bat check coming up on GFE's side here. I had a sword in my last seat I was playing that had Magic Bat. Obviously not possible here. Hopefully we don't see a green 20. That'd be just a bit insulting. Green 50. Okay.
Right. I actually think that we've already seen 4 green 20s.
I think we've seen more than that. Which I mean, again, if we are in a hard pool, then that would explain why we've seen a bunch of green 20s. But I haven't been exactly counted, to be honest. We could still be normal pool, and we've just gotten extremely unlucky and found all the swords. Quite possible. We'll know for sure if they get up to 14 hearts and stop getting any more.
Yep. And Koi is gonna go check the big chest for Misery Mire.
On GFP's side, we have our Hylian National Anthem.
Only getting bombs, but we're gonna have one more chest check. Piece of heart. And now it's just to go see who we have to deal with for a boss.
Yep, that's 7. Nice thing for the viewers is the compass does help. You can tell how much progress they made through a dungeon. So you know that Koi's got 1 left. He's heading back to the boss. We'll we'll get to see what's going on back here in a moment. So by default, victories with swordless is can be pretty tricky. There's some things you can do to help soften them up, like throw a bunch of bombs into the eyes. If you have a bunch of arrows, you can use those too. We have a ped check on GFE's side. The small key of the Dark Forest. I believe that's a Skullwood small key, if I'm not mistaken. And if that's the case, and that's not particularly useful. Skullwoods has a bunch of extra keys, so we're not worried about that.
Oof, that would be, it could be a blessing, because like you said, you know, it does have an extra key. And usually you can make through Skullwoods with an extra key in hand. Just depends on how many doors you actually decide to open.
Yeah. Yeah, they're called Skullwoods. I know some people call them Skullwoods routing keys for a good reason, because they basically just help you route through the dungeon. They're generally not required. If you're willing to deal with a soft lock with a extra saving quit, you can generally take care of those. Ooh, we've got a Trinex in the back of Meyer. Ooh.
Yep, can't touch him. Do not have a fire rod yet.
That boss is off limits.
Yes, for now at least. For now. But boy, probably gonna go check. You know, we do have Canis Samaria. We can at least go see the Dark World side of Death Mountain, and on top of that too, we can also see how many crystals we need to unlock GT.
Yep, that's some pretty important information, because that GT is a dungeon with 27 checks in it, and with MCS Shuffle on, that number is just 26. There's a lot of potential for useful stuff in GT. And if it's a low number, that can be opened very early and open for a dive and get some stuff. If that is the case, Koi's got Hammer Hookshot. We've got access to the left side. Right side is not fully accessible because we are still missing a fire rod. And just confirm in chat, yes, we're on an MCS shuffle, so the big keys they're not vanilla, but they are still within their dungeons.
But we do have our first bow confirmation in Skullwoods, in the pinball room.
GT waiting to get picked up out of the room here. There we go. Yep, one bow so far. We know we're going to get two of them.
And our ether, by the way, opens up both our entrances to Misery Mire and to Turtle Rock. So
double ether all the way.
Only one medallion was actually needed this time.
Normally I'd be like, it's nice to have bombos because that takes care of some rooms, but unfortunately we're on swordless. Those medallions are only useful on the symbols that are provided to, basically for requirements.
Right, but we do have, by the way, our second shield, because GFE found a shield upgrade in Skullwoods, and we found another one in Super Bunny Cave.
Yep, so those are the two shields we're allowed to have, assuming we are on hardpool. Koi finds a whole lot of nothing in Hookshot Cave.
Is Koi going to... Yeah, Koi's probably just going to jump in, check one room that we can actually check inside of here, or abandon that right side for the torches.
Yeah, so we do have four TR keys. This dungeon is, I mean, outside of having the fire rod, this dungeon is completely accessible.
And we found the big key already, okay. The dungeon is basically begging us to go through it all.
Koi's forgetting he doesn't have fire rod here. Yep, that's right. You don't have that one. Yeah, skip those two. So I see some chatter about it in chat. So yes, indeed, because we are on swordless, there will be a couple extra bombo symbols added to the inside of Ice Palace. One in the entrance, and assuming we have a cold stare at the bottom, there will be another symbol down there that is used for getting rid of the ice around cold stare.
By the way, our little blobs off this guy that Koi's fighting deal 4 damage when you get hit by them.
I think that's about normal, actually. I think they already do like 3 or 4 on green mail.
Ooh, but we got the chomps. Chomps are only dealing 1 heart damage? Okay, easy mode.
Good news. The chain chomps don't kill you instantly. We've got GFE heading into Thieves Town doing their trip through here. So interesting thing, because it's on because boss shuffle is enabled, bombing the attic in Thieves Town is not necessary. You'll get down to the bottom of the cell and notice that the maiden is not there, and if you go into the boss room, you'll find the boss is immediately available.
Right. You may see some players, however, and some runners accidentally do it, though, just out of pure muscle memory.
Oh yeah, it's hard to resist. You get up there, you get the item, you drop the bomb, you think about it, you're like, wait a second, boss shovel, I don't need to do this. It happens all the time. See, GFE's already thinking about it. He's pulling out the bomb.
Koi's taking the death.
Yep, he did it. Bomb the ceiling.
He probably remembered as he pulled out the bomb, wait a minute, I don't need to do this.
Right after you throw it, you're like, wait a second. Koi's going to persist at Turtle Rock, though.
I mean, I don't blame him, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. You've got 11 total items down here in Turtle Rock. A couple of them you can't get to, of course, because you're fire unlocked. GP's checking hint tiles. Nothing there. Just a troll hint. Tesla Coil trying to rationalize the ceiling bombing. I don't know. That room seems pretty light to me as is.
Gonna really go with the light pun, huh?
We don't even have a blind in that room. We can't make blind puns if blind's not there. That's not how this game works.
And now we're gonna...
Koi's doing a delicate dance with this pokey here.
GFE, however, getting that safety fairy.
Got their vanilla mix. And Koi, for his efforts on the late lava chest, gets a small key to Ice Palace. Kind of useful. Ice is one of those dungeons you don't necessarily need a whole lot of extra keys for it.
No, but having the keys is definitely going to be helpful.
Oh yeah,
because at least you get some extra checks in case you really need it.
Yep, those are much like Skull Wood's routing keys. They help you more efficiently navigate through the dungeon. You want at least one, ideally.
Right, but since GFE does have the bow, he can go ahead and take care of those Armos Knights.
Setting up a very standard-looking quick kill. 10 arrows for your trouble, getting some of that ammo back, and a green pennant.
Boy, living on the edge right now. Oof.
Yeah, I've been tense. I'm just like, the dance with the pokies is so tense. I'm like, don't take another death here, please. Oh no! And the hammer is a really tough weapon for these because it does not come out as fast as the sword. It doesn't last very long. The range is shorter on it. Yeah, he's gonna bail at a TR at this point. After taking 2 deaths, I kind of don't blame him.
No, I don't either. At that point, you know, you've gotten far enough. You have some checks in there. We'll come back when we have the fire rod.
Yeah, fire rod makes those pokies trivial to kill.
And plus, we have Titans, so let's go check our King's Tomb.
Just another bundle of sticks.
And actually, now that I think about it, at this point, I wonder if Koi... No, it looks like he's gonna decide to go down pod path. Okay, I was hoping that he would take the chance to go either to fake powder, or take the time to say, you know what, either fake powder and then go to Skull Woods and see what we get out of there, or move on. But
yeah. Also, a good point from one of our trackers, Jinx Hero in chat. We were hoping to see a peek at the GT entry, because that could be anywhere from 0 to 7. It could be very early and have it be accessible for items.
Right, and if it's that early and accessible, we could have some of the items that we're missing in there, which means for our runners, it could be our silvers, and it could also be our fire rods.
Just a little quick note while we're talking about our trackers. On our tracking today, we've got Jinxie Girl handling both these runners doing their MCS shuffle. A lot to pay attention to, so we really appreciate your keeping on top of things for us. And while we're doing a little bit of retracing each other's steps here, go ahead and give our runners a follow. We got Koi and GFE12, both strong runners, putting on a good show for us today.
Right, and I mean, as we've seen some of the other people who were running in here who forfeited, which once again, Adalor and myself completely understand, especially with swordless. You know, it takes a lot of skill for these guys to do what they do. And it takes a lot of courage for them to come and be restreamed as well. So please go give them a follow.
Yeah, especially when you're walking into a mystery scene, you have no idea what kind of settings you could be getting into. You might be afraid you're making a fool of yourself on restream. Like, we appreciate you signing up and give us a chance to put on a good show here. I certainly know there was a time when I would have completely noped out if I saw any green 20s, but like, I can't do it. I'm not good enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm still like that today. So let's see what our smith gives us. A blue potion.
Ooh, they are dabbling in alchemy today. Okay.
I mean, I wonder if they use the blue potion to help make the temper soar normally. Maybe since we don't have any swords, it's just like, you know what, here's just the ingredient, just go away.
Like, we don't have time to make swords, just take this and leave.
Who uses pokey sticks?
Swords are banned in this world, haven't you heard? Chiefy's got his ice rod out of Meyer Shed. Still missing that fire rod. It's hiding somewhere in this world.
Right, and I'm actually trying to think of where the fire rod could potentially be. Where do we currently have access to? Where it could be? Well, we need mirror in order to check Graveyard Ledge, and to check the checkerboard cave. Ooh, you know what? I actually just thought about this. What if Fire Rod is actually in tower?
That would be, honestly, probably a bad spot for it. I believe that's possible here. I mean, again, we haven't seen our GT entry, so it's hard to say whether that's actually like possible. But without knowing how many crystals we need to get a GT, it's entirely possible. We could have a 0 up there for all we know.
Right. For all we know, GT could have been accessible at the beginning, which would be a little funny for our runners, considering the fact that they were around there at a certain time and could have checked.
Yeah, we see Koi getting into the right side of pod with the camera unlock and going to continue through the dungeon. And GFE is doing the Meyer thing, so we are getting a lot of retracing here. I don't think Koi does have some extra pod keys, though, so you'll be able to actually do more in this dungeon than GFE did on his trip.
Right. GFE, however, does have 14 hearts now.
And if we are in hard pool, that I'm thinking we are, because we haven't seen any armor yet. It is entirely possible that is our maximum health for this seed. We'll know for sure if we start seeing more green 20s pop up. And yeah, just to confirm with the trackers, we do have extra crystals on there because the default state on our tracker is that it just shows a crystal and we don't know any better. So until we get further map checks from our runners, we'll have some extra crystals hanging out. So it's just a necessary byproduct of how the tracker works.
Boy, setting himself up for a bomb, yep.
Forgetting, nope, no big key yet.
But don't worry, because the big key is in there.
It's in honestly, I think it's its favorite spot. It's the bottom of Dark Base, where I feel like I usually find it. So there it is.
I mean, I usually find it at the top. But hey, I mean, regardless, he's gonna get a green 20 out of it.
Yeah, the one upside to having hard pull and or swordless is that you get more money to buy stuff with, so you can feel more free to stock up on potions.
Stock up on potions, get some bomb upgrades or arrow upgrades. GFE, however, will find that as great as Misery Mire was, Trinex is at the back, so you're gonna have to do it too much. Boy, however, collecting some blue potions.
Gonna set up a fake flipper. I wonder if he's maybe thinking about Ice Palace here. No, actually, I think maybe... No, actually, Koi has not even done the whole fake flipper, so he's decided he's had enough waiting for flippers. Gonna go take care of Hobo.
Right, I think that bomb was just a nice little frustration bomb.
Yeah, well, it helps also for the... I'll probably release some frustration, but it does help for the for setting up the fake flipper, too.
Right.
Dual purpose bomb. I think Appa Yip Yip in chat is saying that GFE may just want a heart piece. And if that's the case, then we are indeed not on hard pull, and we're just unfortunate that we haven't found the armor yet.
Yep, I think GFE did collect the heart piece, if I saw that one correctly out of the corner of my eye.
Yep, so that pretty much nails down our settings then. At swordless, MCS, boss shuffled, obviously, because you got a Trinex in the back of Meyer. Some bad news for you. It's a surprise Trinex. Oh, there's a blue mail on Bumper Ledge. Okay, I think I missed that one. Good call. If we'd noticed that earlier, we'd know for sure. Okay, so normal pool, boss shuffle, MCS shuffle, bosses. I already said bosses. Swordless, that's the big one. It's the swordless. And we got a 6 crystal slogan, and we have not yet seen what our GT entry is. Hopefully, GFE will be giving us a look at that soon.
Hopefully, because I mean, at this point, GFE has to be checking Turtle Rock to see what is locked with Turtle Rock, and then you know, honestly, let's go from there. Boy, however, is getting his back-to-school book. And Dead Rocks, by the way, giving GFE a little bit of a hard time. Honestly, one of the more annoying enemies, in my personal opinion, the Dead Rocks.
Oh yeah, Dead Rocks are straight up terrible.
And actually, Koi now, with not only with boots and that extra key, also has a fire source to come through Desert Palace, while GFE, when GFE came through here, did not.
Yep, Koi indeed will be able to do more of this dungeon. GFE didn't have boots either, so that automatically Koi's got 2 more checks in Desert here, and we'll have to see if those are turn up the stuff we're looking for, particularly that fire rod.
Well, we did see that the torch had some kind of a compass on it.
Okay, so that one's not as big of a deal.
Right, but we don't know, once again, who the boss is for this dungeon, so we may be able just to clear out this dungeon.
I'm going to go peek at the preset again and remind myself what types of boss shovels. So, let's see. So there's a 10% chance that it's simple, which basically just takes the existing numbers of bosses and moves them around. There's a 10% chance of full, which changes the number of bosses, which bosses can appear twice. And then there's random, which has a 20% chance, and basically means I think any boss can appear up to 3 times, I think.
Right, so we don't have any chaos shuffling.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that that we might see multiple Trinexes. It just depends on which boss shuffle level was rolled.
And hopefully we don't see multiple Trinexes. Hopefully we only have the one.
Ah, the Trinex isn't that bad. I like a bonus Trinex here and there.
Yeah, but on Swordless?
I hear a Trinex isn't even that bad. Once you got a good feel for the rhythm, it's an easy boss, honestly. Koi's getting his 14th heart. GFE's on 15. They're keeping pretty even with each other. Yeah, we're gonna. After all this, of course, we are still gonna blame Sahas Rolobot because he did create this for us.
Of course, and GFE having a hard time.
GFE's discovering why Koi died a couple times in Turtle Rock.
The slimes are easy enough to kill, but they still do a lot of damage on green mail. But honestly, at that point, if I were... And the way that he's set up with GFE, he doesn't have to worry about it because he's got powder.
Yep, he's showing us that he has the ability to take some damage and heal it back with those anti-fairies. Not even a big deal.
And I believe he also has Bug Net too. So he does have the ability to catch himself some safety fairies. And where he's going to be going to, plenty of ways to catch some safety fairies.
Yeah, GFE does indeed have the Bug Net. He was able to find that, I think in the big chest of the Eastern Palace.
Looks like we have a vanilla Lamos. A vanilla Lamos, I should say. Koi running out of some magic. And I don't think, yeah, Koi did not check Ledge to go get the half magic. He's got the book and then just dipped right on out.
Yeah, we do still have that half magic hanging out on the Zora ledge. That's true. And I wonder if did he not see it, or maybe he saw it and he wasn't confident that he'd be able to splash to it.
He may have been saying, I don't want to splash to it. That could be a reason.
I'd be thinking, man, it's up there, and I'm about to take time to get to it. I don't need that. I can do this game without half magic. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't need that.
GFE in the same room where Koi finally just gave up. And he made it through!
All right, we got it. We get to see our Mimic Cave and our big chest. Hopefully, the rest of the checks further.
We actually can't see Mimic Cave. We still do not have our mirror.
You're right. I'm sorry. There is indeed no mirror. It's weird to go this long without a mirror, honestly.
Well, we still haven't actually seen Catfish. No, we have seen Catfish. I'm sorry, we have.
Yeah, I think Catfish was a heartbeat. There's a mirror shield. GFE scored all 3 of those now.
Not the mirror that we were hoping for.
The actual vanilla mirror shield.
Oh boy.
That's 2 vanilla items. The first of which was our mitts in Thieves Town. Yeah, I think we just got unlucky and saw all 4 of our swords were relatively accessible. Because, like, we have seen a bunch of green 20s, but I can't think of any reason there'd be more than 4 in this pool.
GFE, by the way, out of magic.
Ooh, that firebar does a lot of damage.
But he does have a safety fairy.
Koi's getting his powder off of the Ether tablet.
And GFE is going to play it safe using the hook shot.
Oh yeah, you want to abuse those iframes when you discover that the fire bars are dealing a bunch of extra damage.
Yeah, you might as well just play it safe at this point. And actually, Koi showing us that indeed you could do the a hammer run. Oh, that's right. The reason why they didn't... Yeah, they didn't have boots back then.
There's our mirror on Laser Bridge. Because where else is it going to be?
And now here's the real question, though. Where in the heck...
Is Carmen Sandiego?
Well, that too. I was going to more say, where's our fire rod? And you know what? It still could be GT because we can still have GT available.
Entirely possible. We still have yet to see anyone go check the entrance. And I do like GFE mirroring to hit this, and it's going to take a little more time to get back down and see what boss in Turtle Rock, but you're still missing some stuff. You want to be thorough here. I don't hate this.
No. I think that this was a safe play considering the fact that, you know, you could have Fire Rod here. It is logical. Seeing as you didn't actually need to go to the right side in order to get as far as, you know, our runners have.
It's also possible maybe GFE is feeling like he's a little bit ahead, might feel like he's got some time to make some optional checks.
Boy, however, using the Cane of Burner to get through that room that gave him so much trouble last time.
I don't blame him one bit. Those pokies are really tough.
Although since Koi did not go to Skull Woods yet, he will only get the fire shield and not the mirror shield.
don't think he's that concerned. The people often hit on the mirror shield because they call it a lag shield, and I get it. It's nice to have, but maybe you don't want to lose a few more frames over the course of the game. GFE forgetting you cannot dash through the mini helmet star without a sword. Tries to grab a fairy. She definitely dodges the net and just goes right for him.
Yep. And now we get to see what kind of boss we are dealing with.
Let's see, what haven't we seen yet? I would like to see a Moldorm, personally.
A Moldorm would be nice.
Oh, no, here's blind.
You know what? That works out well, too. The room is very, very large. We have enough space to do whatever we need to. And on top of that, if GFE really decides, you know what, I just want to take this one a little bit easy, we can break out the Cane of Burna and then just move on.
Yep, the blind fight certainly does become a bit easier when you've got a nice open space to work with. Our prize is a small key to pod. Okay.
Which I believe is our final small key, too. And now Koi finds the mirror. Found the compass to Turtle Rock. And I believe this one, yep, was a map to Ganon's Tower.
Oh, well, there's our news. We have a 7 Crystal GT, so this is actually just a 7/7 slow Ganon.
Oofa. You can see GFP just saying, really? Come on.
No chance in an early tower today. That means we're going to get all those crystals, so there's no dungeons that we can skip here. Well, no crystal dungeons, I mean. And we do know that Pet is pretty much dead. It's a Skullwood small key, so we shouldn't have to worry about having to collect all the pendants.
Or using the Cane of Samaria, and he's just going to use the pure Cane strat. Use the Cane of Samaria and then the Cane of Burna to go ahead and kill Blind.
Yeah, Burn is a fantastic weapon in Blind, honestly. You both get invulnerability and this aura that just damages blindness on pretty much as soon as the iframes wear off. It's a solid weapon. To answer Picalex Ilt in chat, I don't believe we have seen the second, the Dark Maze chest in 18, no.
And by the way, our green pendant only gave us 20 rupees. Boy, went past 2 chests, it looks like. NTR. Oh, that's right. Doesn't it count? Mimic Cave is a chest for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so he's still missing the Fire Rod, so he can't get the 2 checks up top. Yeah, he's going back in for Mimic, which I think if you're going to do Mimic, you do it like how GFE did, bring a mirror from Laser Bridge, because this seems like it takes longer.
Right, but Boy decided to take the break and instead go for the boss, which ended up being Blind, so did not warp back like GFE.
Ooh, that's actually a good point from Tim in chat. Yeah, Koi did take the safety door up down bottom, so that's fair. He wasn't able to go back to it as easily.
Right, and I mean, realistically, Koi was having a very difficult time with Charter Rock, so I don't blame him taking that safety door.
We got an 8-eye mole worm in the back of pod.
Yeah, see, that just doesn't look right.
It's kind of unnatural, yeah.
But we have another key to Ice Palace, which I'm wondering at this point, we don't have flippers, so Ice Palace is not in the logic yet. And we can't do Swamp Palace either.
Yeah, we are still missing the flippers, so swap is completely off limits.
But GFE does have Bo, so he's gonna make his way all the way back and see who we have here in Eastern Palace. And Koi is still going to be avoiding, looks like Skull Woods.
At this point, I'm thinking we don't have a lot left. I think we're down to the last check in Eastern on the boss here. Whatever's left in I don't think Skull Woods has been cleaned up yet. No, we've got something left in Skull Woods, and the second chest in Agus Tower. I think that's all we have left here.
Right, and it looks like what Koi may be doing is finishing up the fetch quests.
And yeah, we've got two items left in or 2 checks left in Skull Wood, because yeah, GFE did the front one before we had the fire rod, of course. I mean, we still don't have the fire rod, so obviously we're not going to find the fire rod there.
Right, Koi now gonna go and powder the magic bat. I believe we found the bow in Skull Woods?
Yeah, the bow was in Skull Woods.
Right, and we have a second blind, by the way.
Aha, so that is definitely not simple boss shuffle. It is at least, I'm willing to bet full at this point, because we've had a good variety of bosses, too.
Yeah, and it looks like Koi is going to be doing the rest of our fetch quests. I don't blame him for it would just be, you know, it's Skull Woods. Let's get that bow.
Yeah, we've got another Skull Woods. Speaking of Skull Woods, another small key for it after that Eastern boss kill. So that definitely tells us that we don't need to worry about Pedestal. There are a bunch of extra keys in Skull Woods that we do not need to get. There it is, K45. There's our fire rod. I'd forgotten about K45, actually. Good call.
We have K45, and Koi is on his way to deliver the purple chest. I don't think GFE actually delivered the purple chest.
I don't believe so, no.
So I'm wondering, could this be our second bow upgrade?
Nope, it's a map of desert, which we already cleared. Don't need it.
Right, but we can check Bombo's tablet while we are here.
Yeah, we have access now to Bombo's tablet. That gives us also a Grave Ledge
Yep.
and Checkerboard Cave.
Right, we did get to see Checkerboard Cave with Koi. Was only 20 rupees though.
Oh, okay, I missed that one. All right, fair enough.
And looks like Bombo Sap was only giving us a Dark Palace key.
I think it's the last of our pod keys at this point. It's gotta be. I feel like we've had enough of them by now.
Yep, and I think now with the Fire Rod, that puts into Koi's mind, okay, now I'm finally comfortable with doing Skullwoods.
Oh yeah. He's been putting it off for a while, but now you've got no reason not to go up there. I think the only reason then would be to, if you're feeling crazy about it, go back up for the 2 checks in Turtle Rock. But I don't think you want to go back up there unless you've already got 7 crystals. You're planning on going to Gannis Tower next.
Right.
GV doing a good job with the hammer landmos, getting their big 20s prize, getting that crystal.
I think Koi is now taking his time to check the ledge, to check Bumper Ledge.
Yep, gonna see that armor upgrade. And we don't have the cape. The cape has also been completely elusive. So that armor is up there taunting us, but we can't get it.
Right, and it looks like, by the way, our regular murder birds don't actually hurt as bad. So, I guess our murder birds decided that they want to swap positions today.
Yeah, I guess so. Ledge is a small key for us going to Gannis Tower. We are going to need some of those.
And GF now on his way to go take care of the purple chest.
He'll be getting his fire rod too. It looks like he's going to go ahead and walk. He'll drop by K45, get that rod, and be able to finish off Skullwoods. And Koi's going to restock on a potion.
Yep, and Koi will hopefully... no, Koi's deciding I'm going to fake flipper over to Ice Palace.
I think you thought he had real flippers for a second there. Yeah, those real flippers are still hanging out somewhere, because we've got 2 dungeons that require them, like, logically, one that hard requires them, and we still haven't seen them yet, so there can't be really much else... much other places they're going to be.
Right, it has to be either behind Skull Woods or maybe behind Pyramid Mary? To show, by the way, what Adalor was saying earlier, if you caught that quickly, there was a Bombos tablet insignia on the ground. Which, for those who still had hopes that this was indeed not a swordless, it definitely is squashed.
Yep, 100% confirmed. When you see those symbols, that's there just so you can use the medallions to actually open up when they're required. Koi showing off the nice double bomb kill in the Pen Gator room there.
And now that Koi does, by the way, have, and both of our runners have the Cane of Samaria, we are going to see an Icebreaker glitch. Which, I don't know about you, but that's one of my favorite glitches.
Oh, I love Icebreaker. It is absolutely one of my favorite bits of tech to be discovered in this game in recent times. You do a little clip here, you 1 frame to left, get yourself in the door state, do a little down right, clip yourself into the block, push yourself through the wall, wait for it. There it is. Look at that. It's beautiful. It skips like half the dungeon. It's amazing. There's our cape. That enables that armor.
We can get that blue mail now.
Which with this damage shuffle, I would not be surprised if both of our runners here voluntarily go for that, despite how out of the way it is.
Right. I mean, you might as well, to be honest with you. You don't know what you're going to run into, especially if you have to deal with any Ganon hugs. It'd be nice to have a little bit extra health.
It really would, yeah. You'd like to reduce that damage from 8 hearts. GFE is heading back in to go ahead and take care of our Trinex kill at the back of Meyer. You got that fire rod, that's on the table. While Koi digs deeper into Ice Palace. There's another Bombos medallion emblem. Doesn't need it, got the fire rod, it's quicker. There's a big key.
It's quicker, and I believe it may be, if my memory serves me right, it may actually be a little less magic usage than to use Bombos too.
I am not sure about that. I would have to investigate that myself, personally. Couldn't say. I'm willing to believe it, though. To answer Malmo in chat, no. We do not have chaos damage in here, so it's just damage shuffle, so the armors will still reduce the incoming damage.
GFE, by the way, was trying to pull off the spooky glitch, and unfortunately was not able to do so.
Gotta watch out for that spooky action. It'll get you. Big check. Ooh, there's our swamp small key. Well, I kind of glossed over that, but yeah, we haven't had our swamp small key until literally just now from the ice big chest, and that is very much a required small key to do anything in that dungeon past that first check.
Right, because otherwise we're not able to actually do anything in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, that small key is more important than the big key, because you can't get to the back, you can't get anything with that first chest without it yet. Bottom of ice. Ooh, we've got a vanilla cold stare here.
Boy, making use of the Bombo style.
Yeah, Hammer Cold Stare, not a boss I want to really wish on anyone, so you're going to save some magic and use Fire Rod as much as you can here, absolutely. I think he's taking down Trinex, no problem.
Yep, and I think Koi is going to do Hammer Cold Stare for as long as he can, because it only looks like we only take a point of damage on Cold Stare.
Oh, the incoming damage is negligible, yeah. I think he's not scared at all here, yeah.
Yeah. So GFE takes down Trinex, and Koi takes down Vanilla Cold Stare, who just hits like a cloud.
Light and fluffy, and not really that much damage. Scruff Ninja Tuna in chat saying this rando is a butt. I kinda agree. This is not the most friendly of seeds.
No, it definitely is not the most friendly.
I think I can handle it. I'd get through it, but I wouldn't necessarily like it.
This to me smells like a renderer seed too.
I believe. Oh, we can check on the race room here. Let's see. Who rolled this? Nope. Our room setup today was Edium.
Ah. And it looks like Koi's finally deciding to go back in, and we'll take care of Trinex as well.
Yep, while GFE has picked up both of his red crystals and is going to head up to Pyramid Ferry. The fire rod today was in Cave 45.
And at this point, you know, GFE is just saying, listen, please, you have to have my flippers. You have to give me flippers.
Yeah, and just a note, like to get to Cave 45 also required finding a mirror on Laser Bridge, just to kind of punctuate that. There's a shovel. We got ourselves a fetch. And free fairies, that's okay.
Listen, once again, we're borrowing the fairies with the intent and purposes of possibly giving it back.
The GFE has decided let's go into AT and get those 2 items. So one of our very few remaining checks here, the second chest of Aga Tower.
Right, and I mean, at this point, you might as well. I only think, logically speaking, is there any other place that our flippers could potentially be?
There's a Ganon's Tower key in AT. That's not going to help us. I think all we're looking at now is the back of Skull Woods and those 2 items in Turtle Rock. I think that's it.
Trinex, by the way, giving Koi a hard time.
Yeah, it's a bit tough considering you've got the what's his name? The vitreous slime on the floor, and I think that still applies here if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it does, because that's part of the room.
So you can't exactly, if Trinex backs up to the wall, if you're going to have a hard time getting up there and hitting the heads without taking much extra damage.
Right, the only other way to do it would be to keep spamming the rod in order to do the actual hit, which can be quite annoying to do, and it definitely is consuming when it comes to his magic.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot of magic to spam down the heads with rod shots. He's getting through it. It's just being a little bit tricky. It doesn't look like he's taking a lot of damage from Trinex, at least.
Well, he's still taking some nice chunk of damage from Trinex, but at least the little flute over there is only doing like 1 damage to him.
Yeah, you can at least use the iframes of taking damage from the floor slime to avoid taking more from Trinex himself.
Right, honestly, when it comes to Trinex, this is one of the rooms that I hate Trinex being in, literally because of what we're seeing right here, where you only have a fraction of the room to actually travel through.
Koi's taking him down. GFE's going for a Kern jump here. Pulls it off first try. Nicely done. All right, so where's Koi gonna go? I think he's down to those 2 options of 2 checks each at this point.
Right, well, I mean, he still has Skull Woods completely that he has to check. He hasn't done Spike Cave yet, so he's probably gonna go check Spike Cave.
Yeah, looks like it. We're going to see another trip up the mountain, possibly to those 2 checks in TR, which will be easy to hit, and then over to Spike Cave. At this point, we're just looking for those flippers, which will unlock I'm sorry, not ice, Swamp Palace for us.
And actually, did Koi ever... I don't think Koi actually checked to see what the, if Ganon's Tower is actually open or not. So that's what he may be checking right now.
I don't think so either. I think he will be able to get that information while he's up here, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like GFE's coming up the mountain, probably to do those 2 checks in Turtle Rock as well. So we're gonna get information from Koi, and shortly thereafter, GFL will be picking those up as well.
Because now we can actually do the right side in here for Turtle Rock because we do have the fire rod.
All right, moment of truth. Is this going to be our flippers, or are they going to be held in the back of Skull Woods? Let's find out.
For Koi, I actually hope the fact that it's actually in Skull Woods, because then that means that GFE still has a lot of other checks to do versus Koi. We have one bottle and we have flippers.
There they are, Turtle Rock all the time. He's gonna take that free magic refill and then he's out. That's a good idea. He's gonna go check out the GT entrance. Yeah, he definitely should do that while you're up here. And Koi, actually, worth noting, he does not have a bow yet.
Right, he still hasn't been to Skull Woods. But this'll, once he sees what he's gonna run into, he's gonna know that I need to start traveling to places.
Alright, GFE's going to take a pit stop to stock up on blue potions, while Koi is going to get whatever it was in Spike Cave. I don't think it was anything consequential.
No, it was, I believe, just a heart piece.
As you do.
Oh, no, sorry, it was a key to Skull Woods.
Oh, less consequential than a heart piece, I'd argue.
No, but hopefully this gives Koi the idea to start calling Skull Woods. I know I keep repeating it, but...
One more small key should push him in that direction. I mean, he acted like he was going to go to Skull Woods earlier, and then bailed out to go check out Bumper Ledge, and I think now he's just going straight for Swamp.
Yeah. Which at this point, I believe Swamp is going to be one of our last locations for dungeons for these guys. Yeah, we have Swamp we haven't seen yet, and then the final part of Skull Woods we haven't seen. So this is definitely not the nicest seat in the world. Not only are we swordless this entire time, but Skull Woods, which by the way is a pendant, has one of our bows that we actually need for this seed, which could have both bows realistically.
Yeah, we still have 2 checks left in Skull Woods. It's entirely possible that both of them are locked in there. I'm betting it's quite likely that Swamp has one of them. Swamp has 9 items available in MCS Shuffle, so there's a good chance that Koi will stumble upon one here. But given this is swordless, you know he's going to lock both of them.
Ooh, and he actually skips one of the top chest over there.
Interesting. I wonder if he's maybe banking on finding a bow in GT. He may just go mode Swamp, or semi-go mode in which you pick up just the most convenient checks, like in Flooded Room and Waterfall, and skip everything else, I wonder.
Right, he may be thinking, you know what, if I have to come back here for Big Key to go check Big Chest, then, I'll check that chest at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, yeah. It's not a crazy play. It's definitely a play that you feel like if you feel like you need to come from behind, perhaps. And it's easy for Koi to feel like he's had to come from behind. He's had a few deaths to have to contend with.
As someone in chat actually mentioned, someone who watches a lot of Koi streams, this happens to be one of Koi's routes where he's one item away, so he's just gonna go through all of Swamp and then come back afterwards for the rest of everything. Which, I mean, in this one, I believe we may be able to see a Trinex here too. Because we've already had 2 blinds.
Yeah, we know that it's at least full boss shuffle, which means the bosses that can appear twice can be different. So it is entirely possible we have a double Trinex. Alright, moment of truth. What's our swamp boss today? We haven't actually seen an Argus yet, so it looks like we've got another Landmo.
Listen, Lammo in this room is just as easy as vanilla Lammo.
Not even a problem. There's no difference here, yep. Simultaneous boss fights once again. Koi fighting Lambos in the back of Swamp. GFE taking down the vanilla Cold Stare.
Koi finishes up his easy fight, and GFE discovering, hey, these guys are incredibly soft.
Still going to use that Fire Rod as long as they're going to group up and get some splashes on them, but yeah. Not a problem as terms of the incoming damage.
And GFE, by the way, now going to be going for Swamp Palace at this point. And with Swamp Palace out of the way, we'll have all of the crystals and we'll be able to go to GT.
Yep, I can't imagine GFE would do anything else here. Again, Skullwoods is a pendant. You do have 2 items left back there, but I think unless you feel like you have to go back for to find a second bow or something, we shouldn't even see those come into play.
Right.
And Koi's making a second trip in, having cleared the boss but not found anything else for progression. Gonna go ahead and clean up the rest of it. 7th check is a compass.
And GFE is going to check out the gig, and it's only bombs.
Flute spot, just a pack of bombs. Gonna pick them up anyway, like, why not? So to explain a little bit what mystery friendly means, it is a mystery weight set that most notably does not include any settings for entrance shuffle. It's a little more approachable to potentially newer players that have not dealt with any entrance shuffle settings, while still providing a nice variety of options such as swordless hard pool, any different world states. You can have boss shuffle, enemy damage and health shuffles, as well as dungeon items. You can see anything from MCS up to full key sanity.
And by the way, Scruff Ninja pointing out that technically we have GFE in a potential go mode.
Yep, GFE just needs to, technically speaking, find 1 bow, and then we know for sure they'll be able to clear the game. Because again, the logic does assume that both of those bows are required to complete the game. Yeah, this particular seed did not exactly roll a friendly combination. It hit a lot of its percentages to roll extra settings, but the weight set in general is friendly compared to the sort of regular mystery, which does have more options, including entrance shuffle available in it.
Right. And I believe that was Big Key and Big Chest?
Looks like it. Yeah, I think Big Key locked itself, so Koi is out. should be heading to Skull Woods. He's floating to 3. He might be doing it now.
He might be, and actually, if he goes all the way back into the back of Skull Woods, we may see if that's the other bow in there. Because once again, Skull Woods may have 2 bows.
Yep, we have 2 checks in the back that we have not yet seen, and depending on how Quay routes this, we'll hope maybe we'll get a chance to see him.
And Jinxie, by the way, our tracker, pointing out that this is actually interesting to see with Swamp Palace, because Swamp has nothing really of value.
9 checks in this dungeon and not one of them being useful. It's a bit unusual.
Roy getting an additional key to Misery Mire that he doesn't have to worry about. And we'll be receiving his bow right now.
There it is in the pinball room. And he's decided that's enough. He does, after all, need that bow to complete 2 dungeons on the east side of the world here. So I really don't blame him for grabbing that and saying, that's all I need, let's go clear these dungeons.
Right, and I mean, we do have Pod mostly cleared out, we just have to go into the back, and we already saw that was blind. Was that? No, that one was, Moldorm.
Blind was at Eastern.
Yeah. So
and then there's a Moldorm in the back of Pod.
An 8-eyed Moldorm.
Yeah. So Koi will get to discover those bosses soon enough, but yeah, we still do need, because the Pod hard requires that regardless of enemy shuffle or anything, and because there's no actual just basic enemy shuffle, the red Igor is in the back of Eastern, so you still have that bow requirement there too.
Right, GFE after his boss fight in here though, will be able to go to GT. But we'll have to see what GFE decides, whether or not we're going to go GT, which don't blame him for, or we're going to finish up Skullwood.
I wouldn't be surprised if GFE launches himself up to GTS at this point. You got the 7 crystals. There are 26 checks up there to make. There's a good chance you'd find a second bow there.
Right, and he already has 3 keys to begin with, so...
I guess we'll wait and see what he's going to do. But I would say at this point, now is about the time we start getting our guesses in for where that GTBK is going to be, considering it is not shuffled. It is definitely still within Ganon's Tower. So if you've got an idea between 1 and 22 where you think that key is going to be, shout out. Looks like GFE is heading up to the mountain.
Where do you think that our big key is going to be for GT?
I'm going to go with my usual guess of 18, depending on the route that generally puts it as the first check of Compass Room or Bob's Chest.
See, I'm an evil person. I would definitely keep going my traditional route, which is 22 and Tile Room.
Saving the best for last. I understand.
Well, I mean, think about this. We already have Swordless. So we already have a little bit of a pain. We need our bow, so we're obviously going to be doing all the checks until we can get our bow, if our bow's even in GT. So yeah, I'm gonna stick by stick by my good old-fashioned Tile Room.
Fair enough. What I'd like to see is that it's a tile room, but one of these guys does an early tile play just to be crazy and have it pay off. I'd love to see that.
Oh yeah.
I tried it in my ladder race this morning. It didn't pay off.
You know what? 9 times out of 10, it doesn't pay off. But that one time, it is so satisfying.
I'm waiting for it to happen. I'm gonna be like, I feel like early tile this time, just because I'm crazy, and then it pays off, and I'm just like, I have seen the light.
Boy, by the way, finishing up Moldorm and GFE going to be diving into GT. You guys still have time to get your guesses in. The guesses will officially close once GFE opens up his first chest, or we see Torch. So it has officially closed, and we've seen 2 so far.
And GPA is coming in with four GT keys, actually, so it looks like he's fully loaded, ready to storm through this dungeon. Is he going to do tile? He's doing tile. He's doing it.
Oh, man. I'm still going to point it out there, though. I did call tile room, so if it isn't tile room, I'm still correct.
I mean, I feel like I got to give it to anyone who guessed 3, because they're thinking, what if he goes right? What if he goes hope room and an immediate tile? I got to give it to the number 3s, man. It's a gutsy call.
I mean, I'll still give it to anybody who does the 3, but I'm still going to low-key give it to myself if it isn't tile.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, if you call tile room specifically and it's there, you earn it. Absolutely. That's the unique 100 rupees, not a big key. No luck this time.
And that is our 3rd check. But like I said earlier, we may still have a full GT clear just to find those silvers.
Yeah, because you gotta know these guys are not likely to go into Ganon without having the silver arrows. The only reason they might do that is to maybe get the hint, but there's not much left to check. And we've really cleared out this whole world at this point. Well, that's 7, nothing so far.
And that's 8 with the torch. Because torch is a logical placement for a big key, potentially.
Just to explain a little bit about Swordless Ganon. The Ganon fight has been changed in Swordless to the hammer will do damage to Ganon, and in the 4th phase, it is expected that you will have the silver arrows, logically expected. So those silvers are available somewhere for you to pick up, because in order to not do it with silvers, you have to make 24 hits that have a 3-frame window, which is very, very difficult to time.
And by the way, we found it at number 11.
Do a quick scroll up and see if anyone nailed that. Yeah, congratulations to Minions in chat, who indeed guessed the correct number of 11. Well done. You win an internet.
Unfortunately, though, your internet has just expired.
Man, those internets are so volatile these days.
Well, I mean, you know, with data going back and forth so fast, you gotta really hold on to them.
Sorry, man. It's just the nature of the internet. It's too quick for any of us. We see GFE continuing through Ganon's Tower Basement, of course, looking for the 2nd bow. Gotta find it. You need it.
Right. It is required. And Koi, by the way, now on his way to GT. And even though, by the way, GFE has been in GT and has cleared full right side, at any point in time during this, during the whole Ganon fight, and even the Aghanim 2 fight, we could potentially see Koi, you know, pull up in front of GFE. So, you know, even though GFE is ahead right now, doesn't necessarily mean that he may actually, you know, beat out Koi.
Oh yeah, this is definitely still a race. They got a few more minutes to go. There's another green 20. We've got a whole tower climb to go through and everything. So there's some more action still.
Mini Helmstor pushing GFE off. being very, very rude.
I'm gonna go with wall kicks here. GFE, what was that?
You
What
know,
exactly did you do?
sometimes it happens.
It looked like it might have been an attempt at a damage boost across a gap, but it was I don't know about your methods here. I think I'm starting to like this crowd that's here, that says they're here basically to troll GFE, and I'm like, I think I kind of like their motives actually.
And there's our silvers. So no need to go into Swamp Palace anymore. At 2 hours, 4 minutes, and about 35 seconds, GFE is officially in go mode.
Yep, that second bow being locked behind an indeed vanilla ice Armos. There it is.
And just pointing this out to chat, by the way, we are 2 hours into watching our runners, and no other runner currently has actually beaten this seed yet. Boy, also doing the very early tile room check.
Almost makes you wonder if they agreed upon this, because you don't usually see even one runner do early tile, let alone both of them.
Well, you know what? I actually don't blame him for this, because think about it. This seed was definitely not the nicest seed ever.
No, I agree with you there. It's definitely been a rough time.
You know, and how much harder could this seed actually get? You know, it could be Big Key Tile Room. And on top of that, too, I don't also blame him for it, because we know where our silvers are, but Koi doesn't. And yeah, silvers could have been, you know, in Tile Room.
Entirely possible, yep, that's true.
GFE, by the way, getting it really, really hard with the gauntlet. We should have that safety fairy.
Ooh, those projectiles sure are doing some extra damage.
Oh yeah. Those projectiles are definitely not being nice. Boy gets his big key.
I would not be surprised if GFE maybe takes some of the top 4 checks on the climb here, considering you could still use some armor. We're still on green mail here.
Right, he's still on green mail, and actually so is Boyd for that matter too. Boyd decided that he didn't need the blue mail.
Yeah, despite having the cape, they both know where that blue mail is on Bumper Ledge. Neither of them decided to actually get it, which tells me that they think they can get through it. They're maybe hoping to find one in GT, but they're okay with proceeding with green mail in this damage shuffle environment. But that is to say that Ganon is not likely at all to do his full amount of damage.
Right, and actually, you know what it could be too, is that since the damage is shuffled, green mail could be our best mail.
Not with this damage in particular. That would be the chaos damage. This one would still have the damage reduced by the armor.
Boy doing all of his checks, by the way, and GFE just going, nope. We're just gonna work our way up to Aga 2. go defeat the mighty pig lord, and then move on. But is loving that safety fairy.
Yep, GFD is not concerned with any additional checks. He's going for it.
We got our other 8-eyed Moldorm. 2 mini-eyed Moldorm.
Goes down easy with 3 hammer hits, not a problem.
And Koi's on his way to go take care of the Armos Knights. And on his way to go get the Silvers.
Yep, he's about to get his good news. He doesn't have to go out and check Skullwoods. Any further than he already did, at least. GFA making good use of that bug net.
And Koi finally getting his Silvers. I think GFE only needs 1 more hit on Agatu.
Yep, that was 1 more. He's done.
And now comes our Bacon Lord.
GFE about to drop into the Ganon fight. Koi just a few minutes behind him. And yeah, just to point out, you can indeed do the Aga fight with the hammer, but it's tougher. The hammer's hitbox is smaller, it does not last as long. You're better off just using the bug net, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and plus on that too, it also looks like with the net, you can correct me if I'm wrong in this one, but with the net as well, you can also hit multiple of those beams as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
So with the hammer, it's going to take GFE a little bit to get ourselves to phase number 2, which actually just happened right now. Ganon luckily in a very nice corner position for us.
Looks like the fire bats are doing about 1.5 hearts of damage. Not too bad, really, on Greenmail.
Nope, and it looks like the Ganon Hogs aren't too terrible either.
Yep, for all the trouble that Damage Shuffle gives you earlier in the game, when you get to Ganon, it has a lot of potential to just be a complete breeze, because you've got a bunch of hearts, and Ganon touches you, it does like maybe a heart or 2 of damage, and you're like, oh, whatever, this guy's not even a problem. It's giving us a bunch of teleports here. You want to stop? Thank you.
Ooh, nice GFE. Getting that nice time with the Fire Rod.
Perfectly timed torch glitch. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, ooh.
That's a double for the finish. That's it. GFE's done it.
All GFE has to actually do is cross the 1x3 bridge, and that'll be it for GFE.
Do not fall off the Bridge of Perils. It is not a good idea. I don't recommend it. And he's done.
At 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 6 seconds, GFE has finished first on our restream and first overall for all of our runners.
GG's to him for getting through this pretty difficult seed, all things considered. Still got a bunch of runners working on this, and we are joined indeed by GFE in our commentary room here. GG.
Hey, GG's. How did everybody enjoy their friendly mystery seed tonight?
Nice friendly mystery, yeah.
Nice, friendly, swordless mystery seed that, only had, I think it was like 4 people drop in the first 5-10 minutes.
Swordless, 7-6, defeat Ganon, random enemy damage. Thanks for that first bird for letting me know that one.
That first murder bird was a real treat. That kind of set the tone for the whole seed, honestly.
And then boss shuffle, and to be honest with you, I am extremely confused by this boss shuffle because GT was completely vanilla, but there were
Right?
2 blinds and 2 landmos outside, so that would imply it was chaos shuffle, but GT was vanilla.
Yeah, you're right. We did have 3 landmos, so that does say random bosses, but completely vanilla GTs. That's it's quite the is this even random sort of thing.
And I mean, I guess this was also, I forget what it's called, but basically where you cannot access all locations because Mothula effectively locked itself. Because the Skullwoods small key was on Ped and Skullwoods was a pendant.
Oh, you're right. Logically, that means, yeah. So this must be beatable. I had not caught on to that. That's a good call.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I guess Moth's dead. I kept being afraid that flippers were going to end up in that one chest in the back of Skull that was logical.
Yep. So looking at the weights here, it's 70% for inventory and 30% beatable. So yeah, that is a good call.
Definitely got beatable. This seed was just completely gross. Even you take away all the Randomizer and the swordless and everything else, it's still gross. I believe Thieves Town Small was that in Hera? It was somewhere on the mountain. I want to say it was Hera. And then that led to Mitts.
The vanilla Mitts, yep.
So you could go back to the mountain later to go into T-Rock and get Mirror off Pendant TR Laser Bridge, so you can get your Fire Rod out of that was K45, and then you can go back to TR, your flippers out of Pendant TR Fire Rod. This is just a disgusting seed.
Yeah, it's kind of a butt of a seed, really. Yeah.
Though to be honest, I enjoyed it. It was horrible, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, our tracker, by the way, pointing out the small key for Thieves Town was in Paradox Cave.
Was on the mountain, yeah.
And I thought it was on the mountain, so that's another mountain climb, effectively.
Yep. So either way, this seed was not nice.
So I have to ask, any chance that Koi did Thieves Town before the mountain?
Actually, I think that he may have. No, actually, he didn't, because he hasn't actually finished up Thieves Town.
Oh, because it's pendant, so he never went back. Yeah. Since I had the Thieves Town Small off the mountain, I was like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just do Green Pendant Thieves Town because we can full clear the back, and it's Key Sanity. Well, MCS shuffled, but for the back of Thieves Town, that's basically the same.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was also kind of a little disappointed when I found out that Big Keys were in their vanilla dungeons, because I went to Desert because I got Desert Small and I thought I might find progression there. And then I found the Big Key and I thought, oh great, I'm going to find a fire source somewhere else and have to come back here for Landmo. But it didn't turn out that way. You just had to go to Eastern and get the hammer.
This seed was not a you had all the double dipping that happened on top of the early murder birds and the slimes, by the way, which are arguably one of the stronger mobs in this seed. A little dinky old slime.
Yeah, I'm surprised I survived doing Dark Cross. The rats didn't do any damage really, but I got hit by one rope in the second room and basically took over half my health. So
Yeah, I think it took like 3 or 4 hearts of damage from that one hit. Yeah.
I knew if I got hit again in the next room, I was dead. So I'm glad RNG played friendly there.
Yeah, you play that super cautious, just like spamming hookshot. I'm like, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't want to get hit here either.
And I mean, you could. Did Koi find the other mail upgrade by any chance? Because
the only
Blue
mail
mail was
no,
locked by
did
Kate.
find. He did find the other one. The other one was actually in GT. It was the second to last chest.
Oh, okay.
He did
The
get
ones
that.
I didn't
Okay.
check. Yeah.
I missed that.
At least I got to check tile room for chat.
Yeah, you both did tile room first, actually. Like the third check, yeah.
I mean, you may as well at that point. You're looking for the big key in silvers, so why not? You know it's not
Yeah.
a small key.
It's reasonable.
You're looking for it, and on top of that, too, with the way that this seed was going, it's like, where else are you going to throw something,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this collection rate. I skipped the 2 in back of skull, because Moth was locked anyway. I skipped left side swamp and the big chest there, and I skipped 2 chests in pod in the top of GT.
And I hate to interrupt, by the way, but Koi has now finished placing third overall with a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 54 seconds. Let me see some GGs in chat.
You got sniped by Plasma Kappa, who finished just 6 seconds earlier, so it was a very close time between both of them.
All right, and actually, when we were talking, it looks like during the second phase, where you had to be in the bottom right position, he was not able to make it over there in time, so he just kind of had to eat up that time. Otherwise, he could have potentially not, gotten microseconds before Plasma Kappa.
Yeah, that was a close finish. 6 seconds. Wow.
But just to put this into perspective too, we've had 5 DNFs for this seed. And we're over 2 hours and 20 minutes for our players.
Yeah, I just love the comments that go along with those. Buy, gross, and still feel like throwing up. That's about accurate.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a combination of settings you really like to see, no.
I actually joked before this seed that it was going to give us like a swordless 7-0 fast cannon, but GT was going to be required. And I mean, I was kind of close. It was 7 crystal GT, and you had to do that for Ganon because it was speed Ganon.
Yep.
And it was swordless. That good old 5%.
At 5%, may as well be 100.
And effectively forced green Mel swordless the whole time because you weren't getting your cape until really late. I guess you could have sequenced Broken Ice, but in my case, Flippers go mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was no reason to. Well, Silver's go mode, but I figured those being GT.
Strictly, yeah, but yeah. Effectively the Flippers, because that's what let you do the rest, yeah. Yep, we saw pretty much that whole world got checked. The only thing is just the 2 in the back of Skull Woods, and then a few checks in GT. That's about it.
I think we're gonna wait to see if Koi wants to do an interview or not.
I think we saw. Let's see, we didn't see a Helmosaur, so there could have been a Helmicopter in the back of Skull.
Potentially, yeah.
Trying to think if there's any other boss we didn't see this time around. Viddy, we didn't see a Viddy.
No Vitreous, correct. No Argus either.
No, you're right. No.
Well, I don't think that we would probably see an Argus without sword. Or if we did that, that would just be
You
mean,
I would
could.
just be
You
straight
can
up
menu
rude.
Argus good times.
I mean, that's a menu boss. It's people experience that all the time.
Yeah, I was not happy to find Trinax in the back of Mire, but I half expected it.
Yeah, I think in a seed like
Somebody-
this, you're gonna find at least one Trinex somewhere inconvenient.
And I
Somebody,
was.
by the way, confirming in chat that Vitreous was in the back of Skull Woods.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So Helmasaur and Argus were the only two bosses not in the seed, because we saw everything else.
Yep.
But this seed was definitely one of those ones that, for our guys, was enjoyable to watch. For our runners, not so much.
Yeah, I came into this thinking, if we get a nice friendly seed, friendly settings, I might be done with this in an hour and have time for something else. 2 hours and about 13 minutes later, here I am. About time for bed.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can reach out. Wait a second.
While you're working on that, just want to go ahead and once again plug our two runners here, Koi and GFE. Both put on a great show for us, finishing top 3 in this this tough seed. It's a tough one overall. Putting up some pretty respectable times, all things considered. Go ahead and definitely give them both a follow on Twitch here, and also give our crew a follow. Myself, we've got Etanar as my co-commentator. We've got Jinxie Girl on tracking, and our restreamer, who I believe who's our restreamer today? Restreamer. If I can type a thing, right?
Yeah, definitely
Awesome.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you guys for the commentary on this, and to our trackers. I'm sure this was a fun seed to commentate, so glad y'all enjoyed it, and hope chat enjoyed it as well.
Oh yeah, this is a fun one. You get a big mess of settings like this. There's a lot to talk about. You get to kind of explain everything about mystery and what each potential setting means, and particularly with Swordless, you get a lot of stuff to talk about with Swordless, all the changes it makes to the game. And we were theorizing for a while also that it was hard pull because we had a lot of green 20s up front. I think if this was not Swordless, we would have had 4 swords easy. Yeah, this is definitely a good one to commentate. I enjoyed it a lot personally.
Yeah, this one was definitely interesting. I'm sorry, I'm actually trying to get Koi in here for an interview. It actually looks like having a little issue with the invite system.
Yeah, mine was a bit delayed too, so hopefully we can get him in here. This is definitely one you want to hear what he has to say.
Oh, for sure. Meanwhile, in 4th place, we have Orange finishing with a time of 2:26:46. His comment seems like seeds like this are just planned eternity prep. Really, it kind of feel it. It certainly can feel it.
Basically the truth. That mirror to Fire Rod to Flipper replacement was definitely that feeling.
That's quite an item chain, yeah.
Yeah, when I got the Fire Rod, I almost chose to immediately go back, but it wouldn't have been a good decision. I could finish Mire, so. And then that opened up, I believe, Pyramid Fairy, which allowed me to check Aga Tower, and then go back for Graveyard Legend Catfish, which I'd isolated for a while. But it definitely would have been the Galaxy Brain play to go straight back to TR.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to know that you really need it there, but I mean, you gotta play true random. You got to play with your density, make good calls. So it's yeah.
I mean, or you could just base it on how rude the seed spins, so it may as well be there.
I mean, if you treat it like a plando, then yeah, I think maybe you just get there right away.
I mean, that's basically why I did Tower Room in GT. So, and it was a unique item, the only 100 rupee in the game.
Yep, the unique 100. That's correct.
All right, so we're having a hard time getting Koi in here, but I actually just talked to him a little bit from his stream. Basically, he said he was not happy the fact that it was swordless. He really doesn't do swordless a lot, so it was a little bit difficult for him. But overall, just like you said, GFE, this was not a nice scene.
Yeah, I mean, you like I said, take out the swordless, take out the random damage, and the bosses weren't too bad to be honest. But take out the random damage, and it's still an awful seed in every way. There was one benefit to the random damage. Cold Stare was easy.
Oh yeah, we noticed that. Cold Stare did like almost nothing, even on green mails. That's just like those later bosses on Damage Shuffle tend to just be nerfed to the point where they're not even a challenge.
Yeah, and when I got hit the first time because I mistimed my first hammer hit, I was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna tank everything and go ham on this one.
Yeah, you discover how much damage it doesn't do, and you're like, oh, well, just go for it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sounds like that's going to be about it for us today. Looking at the schedule, tomorrow we'll have another daily race at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking for the mode on that one. Let's see. Yeah, the mode on that one is going to be just an open seed. So 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow we'll have our next Speed Gaming Daily. Open seed, completely contrary to everything you've seen today. The settings are going to be everything you expect, the most friendly it possibly can be. Just a nice open seed. It'll be nice. So be here tomorrow for that. That'll be on Speed Gaming something. Doesn't look like it's got a channel just yet, but we'll have it up. We'll have it up at that point soon.
Yep, so just keep posted up on that one.
And you can always check out the full schedule at speedgaming.org/schedule.
And please, by the way, if you liked what you saw today, please check out our runners at their Twitch, and please go follow them. They are great people, very nice, more than willing to talk and give some advice and help out. Also, don't be afraid if you want to get involved with anything with Speed Gaming as far as commentating or pressing the buttons and being our tracker like Jinxie today, who did a fantastic job. Feel free to reach us over at our Speed Gaming Discord and let us know if you are interested. Same thing where if you want to get into Link to the Past randomizers, please feel free to join not only the Speed Gaming Discord, but also join the ALTTP Discord as well. They're more than willing to go over some of the mods that they do for it, some types, and kind of give you an overall sense of how to help, where to start out, and how to improve your game overall. Very nice group of people. And once again, Jinxie, thank you so much for being our tracker today. You did such an amazing job.
Yeah, it's tracking key sanity in particular. There's a lot of extra things to pay attention to. Anytime you get a key that pops up, you got to pay attention and be like, which key is this? You got to read the text because the runners are trying to master it as fast as they can to get on with the game. So it's a very, very, very appreciated to keep on top of all of that. So really, really, from both of us, thank you much. And don't forget to follow all the Speed Gaming channels. You got twitch.tv/speedgaming and speedgaming 2 through 6. It's a big network that runs a lot of games, not necessarily all randomizers. There's races going on all the time. Check them all out.
But that is going to be it for myself at NAR.
And I've been your other co-commentator, Adalor.
Thank you guys very much for being here this evening with us. We hope you have a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope you guys have a good one.
Enjoy yourselves, take care, and we'll see you back here soon for another race.